What does love require? If it is unselfish love, what does it require? Sacrifice, yes. Remember when you first became Christians and you discovered the saving grace of God. What was the first impulse in the mind? Oh goody, now I'm saved. Thank heaven, that's done. I can get on with my life. Or was the first impulse, what about my father? What about my mother? What about my wife? What about my children? What about my friends? Am I right? That was the first impulse. Now that was the first impulse. That impulse was dictated by love. Because love never seeks self. Love always seeks someone else. And the first impulse was, I have to warn my friends. This is a serious issue. They could be lost forever. I'm talking about a mindset. Conviction of the heart. The first impulse is, I have to warn others. Love dictates it. And then Satan comes with his brilliant little schemes, and he says eventually to you, shh, don't worry so much about the others. Are you really saved? Do you really have an experience with God? Do you know that it is His voice that is talking to you? How do you know that you are on the right path? How do you know that you are not self-deceived? Do you have a relationship? Come, let me teach you how to get this relationship. Come, I will show you what it is like to be in perfect communication with God, so that you can feel His power flowing through you. And then you will know that you have a living relationship. Let me give you a formation, and I will form you. And you belong to a Christian college, even an Adventist college. They won't teach you the ways of the world. Don't worry, it won't be esoteric. It won't be New Age. There will be no mantra. But we will teach you what you must do and how you must become to be spiritually formed. Now, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being very serious. Because spiritual formation in good Christian colleges goes along that track. And of course you have to study the way that the others do it too. So let's study how they do it. And we see, oh, this saint did it this way, and Ignatius Loyola did it that way. We have to avoid that. We have to go this way. And we have to watch that way. We don't want to do it like that. We want to do it like this. We want to stay in the right principles. But where is this heading? If you take the overall picture, who does all of this revolve around? Self. Am I right with God? Have I got the right formula? Have I got the right fruits? Have I got the right this? Do I have a communication? Do I hear the voice of God? What's the common word in all those sentences? I. If we want to be Christians, and if we want to be Christians at all, we must have a burning desire to save others, even if it costs our life. And so the burden of the message to come before the people at this time is the three angels' messages. Preach the 3 angels' messages. Preach the 3 angels' messages. Preach the 3 angels' messages. You are to allow nothing else to occupy the mind. Where is the burden now? It's with others. And that is the point. The other methodology focuses on self, and the other methodology tries not to offend anybody, because it is not good Christian formation to be offensive. You have to be kind and gentle and long-suffering, which are all good Christian virtues. But believe me, if you go out and you do what God requires you to do, if you go out and you preach this message to the world, and you bring the message faithfully, God will use even the blows that come back in your direction to form your character. He'll do it. And it will not be because you have struggled to find a relationship with Him, but because you are doing what the Word of God asked you to do in the first place. And that is a formation that you cannot receive on the desk of any university. That is an education that you can only receive in the University of Hard Knocks. And so we are admonished. The truths are not to be hoarded. The truths are to be shared. It might be a hidden treasure, but when you have found the treasure, which you have bought without price, which is priceless, but which cost you everything you ever had, and everything you ever thought, and everything that you ever were, because it has twisted your mind around in the opposite direction, then there is nothing other in your mind than to help others to find it too. And we can only do that by preaching to the outside world. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me you can do nothing. Nothing.